Hello, my beautiful people. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Depends where you are in the world. As I promised that I will continue from yesterday's video. Actually, the thing is, I'm always worried about the video getting too long. And still the videos are coming to like 20 minutes at least every day. And I know you guys are very, very busy and you can't get the time out for the most important thing, which is actually anything to do with your health. And I'm not generalizing it. There are some people who can do it, but some people actually they've got so much else to do, and they just finally it's just themselves who get ignored, and which is not really good. That's not really helpful. Anyway, so in today's video, I will continue from what I was saying yesterday, and I was actually talking about how we actually deal with the things out of obligations, and you should not do that. We all know scientifically what organ in our body does what. So I don't need to tell you that. And I even don't know some of the things I even don't know. I know their functions, but I don't quite understand it. I'm not a medically qualified person. But having said that, we all know the heart is working 24 hours. Brain is working 24 hours. And the heart is actually pumping the blood. That's not all the heart does. The heart is also, it feels, it's a muscle, right? Heart is a muscle, and it actually is doing that scientific job, that scientifically proven that it does that, pumping the blood throughout the body. But other than that, ever since we're born, even our ancestors, our parents and their parents, and whenever it comes to the feelings or talk about the feeling, we talk about the heart. We always say, my heart doesn't like it, or I don't like it, or do it whatever you do for your heart in that thing, and then do it with you wholeheartedly. So basically, the heart is very, very important. And if you are doing anything wholeheartedly, believe me, it's not going to last for long. And if it does, then in the end, you will just find yourself completely exhausted. You'll find yourself like, I can't cope with this. I can't continue like this. So before that stage comes, I think it's time to just think like how much I can take on, honestly and sincerely. So this is very important. Sometimes we take on too much, but we can't do any of that. And I'm not just talking about like doing things for other people, even for ourselves too. Like I was saying yesterday, nobody is saying don't go for a big house or, but just take on as much as you can. Peace of mind and your heart's happiness is the most important. And if you can't even pay attention to that, then I think there's no point. And an unhappy life becomes a burden. Like I was saying, any relationship without peace and respect becomes a burden. So we have to look at that fine line. When we're doing something and we're stepping into any area of life to do something for ourselves or for somebody else. Wow. So we just have to see how much can we do. Can we do it all? Can we be responsible enough to take it to the finishing line? Or we can't do that. Or our energy is actually, can't cope with it. Because the thing is, dragging things and doing the things like a burden, it's not good. Because you can't do it honestly, you can't do it wholeheartedly, you can't do it with all your sincerity and honesty. And for doing anything, whether you love somebody, whether you are doing something for somebody else, whether you're doing a job, whether you're looking after your house, you have to have your heart in there. If you are not happy doing that thing, you're doing it as an obligation, you're doing it as a burden, you're thinking like, I have to do it, that will become a burden and you'll get tired soon. Because that's why, long time ago, I was, I'm not sure how many people are aware of Linda Goodman, but long time ago, when I was like literally in my 12, 13 year, I read Linda Goodman's old books. I used to read a lot. I used to read a lot of books. And the spiritual side of books and horoscopes and all that stuff, but not horoscopes, but only, but I'm talking about the uh, astrology and astronomy and numerology. So I was very interested in all those things. So Linda Goodman, she was talking about labor with love, and this is true. I also told my children, do what your heart um, can be happy with. Because if you're just doing something just for money or for pleasing somebody or for probably getting some fame, or you're just thinking, if it's just a material gain that you're focusing on, or if it's just a worldly thing that you're focusing on, then it can't be done sincerely and honestly, because then you'd have to, at some stage you'd have to pull out. Or if you can't do that, if you don't do that, you feel like completely stuck, that would be even worse, because then you will start hating that thing, whatever you're doing. So do things wholeheartedly. Same goes with the smile, like I was saying yesterday, because your smile is your beauty. Your smile is your it's just your, this is your soul reflecting through your, on your face, your eyes, your face. It's everything is like you are, as a soul, you're showing up in your smile. And that's why, the best gift, charity is not always just like give some money to somebody. No, charity is, it comes in many forms. Like you can give your time to somebody, physical help, emotional help, moral help. You can make them, or not make them, but try to help them, give them a hand in standing on their own 2 feet. Do something constructive, long lasting. So if somebody comes to you, asks you money, probably you can do that if you have that much money. But then you can't continue like that, because there will be a time when it becomes a burden and you don't want to do it. I mean, I don't know how much it's true, because I've never been to Japan. I've traveled a lot. Throughout my life, I've been traveling the world. But I had 2 countries, China and Japan, I've not been to. But people say, like in Japan, and that was, again, I read it somewhere a long time ago. And actually, I had some Japanese friends. Yeah, that's another thing. It came from them. They told me this. Yoko, Yom, and Jen. Yeah, 3 Japanese friends. And we were like, for a very long time, we were friends until we lost touch with each other and just moved about wherever. I mean, they went somewhere else and I went to somewhere else. So yeah, they even came to visit me. They told me this. This was the thing that they said, it becomes a burden. Because what happened, according to them, what used to happen in Japan, or maybe still happens, is like somebody gives somebody a $10. I'm not talking about yens or anything. I'm just talking about normal. Like, I will give you an example in dollars. So if somebody gives somebody a £10 or $10 thing, a gift, and then that person feels like it's like kind of a custom there. So they will give $12 gift for any occasion whenever, they give you a gift. And then you will give them $15. So it just keep going like that, $2, $3 on top. In the end, it comes to an amount where you feel like, I just want to go and hide somewhere because I can't afford it. So the thing is, same goes with the relationships, same goes in anything, doing anything in life. So before it becomes too much for you, only take on as much as you can. Respect your time and respect your energy. Don't drain yourself out, because even if you leave the tap running for too long, and if the water supply is not coming from from the government, if it's coming from there, then obviously your bill is going high. But if you've got the water in your tank, then the tank will get empty. So your every effort, everything that you do in life, that is also like you're a tank, and you're actually using your energy. So use it respectfully and carefully. Don't think like every single drop has to go down and then you'll sit there completely drained out. And in that time, you will not be the same person, no matter how pleasant, nice, happy person you have been nature-wise. But you would not be able to the same person. It will just turn you into somebody that you don't want to be, or you never were before. So that's why it's very important. Same goes with the relationships when I was talking about like create a distance. Why? Not because you hate that person or you hate that relation. No. Because if it's really, especially if it's somebody dear to you, if it's somebody who you don't want to lose in your life as a relation, then creating a space, creating some distance is very important. When you see things are getting on top of each other, when you think like people are not respecting each other, people are not respecting each other's spaces, there's no respect and there is no valuing whatever one person or the other is doing for them, for each other. So it's time to create the distance, to save that relationship, to come back with a new energy, with more respect, more love, more appreciation. Because when we are away from each other, that's the only time. Sometimes if there's no contact, then the void creates the environment where we can actually start reflecting on the things what we've been doing. If we are aware, right? Some people just are in deep sleep. They don't want to be aware. They just live an ignorant life. I'm not talking about those unfortunate people, unfortunately. Hopefully they will also come back to senses one day. But I'm talking about the people who live a mindful life, or who can see the things, whose heart is not dead completely. So once they've seen, or you've seen, and then you can adjust the things. So next time when you meet each other, there will be more respect, more love, and more appreciation. And same is with the jobs. If you're doing a job, and if it's very, very long hours, that you completely forget about yourself. When you come home, you just want to crush on a sofa somewhere, or you want to just pick up something from a takeaway and eat that, in a hurry, and then sleep with this tension. I have to wake up first thing in the morning, and then again I have to go. When your work becomes a burden for you, when anything becomes a burden for you, that's the time to wind up, to actually go back to zero, square one. And this insecurity of what will happen. Would I be able to get something, a job? What if this friend leaves me? Will I be able to find a good friend like them? Time is the best healer. So let the time do its work. Don't intervene with nature and with everything. And don't live with this insecurity. Insecurity comes from here. Because we think, logical mind is always telling you to save every corner. I'm not saying don't use your logical mind, because that's also useful, but keep a proportion. Don't let it take over everything. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart, guys. It's very important. It's your best friend. It sings all the time. It's pumping blood up and down in your body. It's keeping you alive. I mean, God is keeping you alive, but I mean, this is something that is actually allocated its job to help you to live a healthy life. So all I'm saying is listen to your heart. Don't contemplate on the things. Don't sit and keep thinking all the time. No. Make decisions with a more conscious mind, but not always logical mind. And without an insecurity. Insecurity is actually take your freedom away. That's why I was saying yesterday, don't worry. There will always be a place for you in the world. There will always be somebody for you in the world. There will always be some food for you in the world. Unfortunately, this human being's greed has taken over everything. So you have to buy everything. Otherwise, nature gives you everything for free. But because we like ownership, we like taking over the things, we like possessing the things. Even with the relations, we do the same thing. We just cling on to the things because we want control. And that comes from the insecure logical mind. if you keep your mind balanced, like both sides of your mind, then there will be no problem. And that's why meditation is very important. Breathing exercises are very, very important. So just relax. Don't have this insecurity. I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was really, really sad for her because she's like in her 70s or something and she's got a 40-plus-year-old son. And this son is living with her in her house. She lives in a very big house. So she's taking care of the house. She's getting everything done in the house, spending money. All, I think she's a pensioner, so I don't really ask people their personal questions, what they do, but I think she's a pensioner. But whatever money she has or savings or whatever, she's spending on that house. She's doing everything that she can do. And her son is still being disrespectful, abusive towards her. And she's putting up with that. Most likely, that's how I read it when I was talking to her. And I even pointed this out. Most likely because she's worried, like she's in her late 70s. And she's because a foreigner and she's not from here. She's from some other country. And all her relatives and extended family is in that country. But she's always lived here ever since she got married or even before that. So the only close relation she has in this country is that son. So that son, if he left her, what will happen to her? Right. So I said, fine, go back to your country then. Then she said, no, but the problem is, in this country, at least in my old age, the state can look after me, the medical costs and everything is a great help and all that stuff. Another insecurity. So I said, fine, okay, then sell your house because it's too big for you to take care of now at this age. And your son is not helping you. So maybe you can sell the house and go to a smaller place. Give him whatever you think you should give him, money-wise. And keep whatever you need for yourself. And then buy a place for yourself. Then she started saying, I've always lived in a house. I don't know if I would be able to live in a smaller place, in a flat. Another insecurity. So what I'm saying is we make our life difficult because we don't like change. I mean, it might sound harsh, but I did say this to her because when she was talking about a smaller place, I can't live in a flat, it's small. And I was like, grave is even smaller. What will you do then? You can't have the grave of your choice, like this size of, I want a plot like 5,000 yards. No, you can't do that. It has to be as whatever your length is, whatever your height is. And still, God knows, religiously, they say the earth, the ground treats you according to how they have treated it. We're not treating the earth very nicely. So only God will help us. Insecurities, thinking too much. Once you make a decision, just get on with it. Do it. That's what I can say. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make it like a lecture. And I also don't want to make it too difficult, too logical, but to be honest with you, it's so simple. Why are we making everything so difficult? Why are we actually complicating the things? I gave you the example, same things I don't want to repeat every day. Look, nature doesn't need no effort. Everything is just happening. And even to you, life is just happening. But you're just making everything an effort in your life. Don't do that because it will just make you sick. It's 19 minutes something, then these videos don't upload quickly and it just makes me, it just gives me more, it just wastes more time because I just keep an eye on if it's uploading or not. So I think I should wind up here. And there's a lot to say. And the same thing, well, yes, it might sound like a repetition. Okay, she's saying the same thing. But is it being taken a notice of? And hopefully it is. I mean, what would you call a son? Even if you find 10 different names for the son, it will still be the same name, same son. What would you call a human In different languages, you can call them whatever, but it's still the same human. So when it comes to this message, no matter how I say it, even if I change the words, even if the message is still the same, it's about the same problem that we are all facing every day, every minute in our life. And we're not even recognizing it. We're the victim of our own thoughts and rigid mentality and insecurities, mainly insecurities. So tomorrow's or the next video I'm going to do, that's on fear. And we'll just see how fear actually surrounds us. It just literally, it's like we're surrounded by fear in many shapes and forms. We're not even realizing it. And it's the fear. There's so many things, so many actions we take in life, they are fear driven, not healthy. Anyway, so let's finish it here for today. And I hope you're having a great day, great night, wherever you are. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Be happy. And be the reason for other people's happiness if you can be. It's not a job, but if you're happy in yourself, your vibes are pleasant and beautiful, then people will pick up ultimately. They will. And that will also make them happy, hopefully. Okay, I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye for now.